Hello coin collectors out there, welcome back to the Big D Coins channel. Hopefully you're having a great day. I've produced a great video for you. It's going to be about the dollar coins. In particular, we're going to talk about the lowest mintage of the modern dollar coin. So I've got a nice collection of them right here to use as examples. Before we get into the real details of these coins, please do subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. I post a lot of great videos here about American coins, in particular rare ones, variety ones, and things that you might find interesting if you are into coin collecting. So let's get into today's video. So we're going to talk about the Eisenhower Dollar, the Susan B. Anthony dollar, the Sacagawea dollar, and then the presidential dollar coin. So these are all of the modern dollar coins. The Eisenhower dollar, this one right here, was to commemorate Eisenhower, Dwight D. Eisenhower, who was the president of the United States at the time of the Apollo 11 moon mission. He was a 5-star general and the 34th president of the United States. And this dollar coin right here was the first one to come out after they removed after they removed silver from the standard coinage for the dollar coin. So this one started to come out in 1971 and was produced for a very short period of time, produced from 1971 until 1978. It should be noted that there were none produced in 1975, so that's not being factored into the equation for lowest mintage because that has a mintage of absolutely 0. As I mentioned in my video that I posted yesterday, in 1975, they were focused on making the bicentennial coins for the quarter, half dollar, and dollar, and decided not to make any of them dated 1975 for those three coins because they're focused on making those for the next year. So the lowest mintage of the series happens to be 1973. So 1973, there were only 1.7 million of them struck at the Philadelphia and at the Denver Mint. Those were made just for mint sets. So that's going to be a common theme that you hear throughout this video, is that most often these coins started off very high, like in with example right here. They started off by making 47 million of these at the Philadelphia and 68 million at the Denver. And then they declined in popularity, started making them only for mint sets. So very often you'll see that the lowest mintage year happens to be a year that they were making them only for mint sets, so they weren't mass produced and sent out to the banks. So we'll move on to the next one. Actually wanted to point off one more thing. So on the reverse right here, the highest year of production is 1976, and there are two different types. The two different types have to do with the different design that you see primarily on the globe in the back right there. So the highest mintage for the Eisenhower dollar is going to be 1976. The highest particular one is the 1976 Type 2, in which there are 113 million of them made. All right, now let's move on to the Susan B. Anthony dollar coin right here. We'll keep it right here for a little bit of comparison. What happened after people realized that the Eisenhower dollar was not very popular is that they hired some consultants. The consultants told them they should make the dollar smaller and they should change the shape of it so as to not confuse it with the current quarter. So that's why we have the size and shape of the Susan B. Anthony dollar coin. And no, these drill holes in the center are not from the United States Mint. Picked this up out of a coin roll, saw some drill holes in it, and just decided to hang on to it. Figured it would be a cool visual for you guys to look at. I have no idea why some people drill holes through coins, but I seem to come across a decent amount of them. If you're one of those people who drills holes through coins, feel free to let me know. I'd be curious as to why you do it. Maybe you use it for jewelry. That's my theory, but who knows why people really drill these holes. So back to the mintages. Susan B. Anthony dollar coin was made from 1979 until 1999. However, a very important designation is that there were none produced between 1981 and 1999. So there's a gap in between those years. So 1981, they did produce them, silent until 1999. As far as the lowest mintage for these series, that would occur in 1981. Just like the Eisenhower dollar, in 1981, they were made just for special mint sets. So that special mint set is when you call up the mint directly and you buy directly from the mint rather than getting it from a bank. So in 1981, there were 3 million produced at the Philadelphia, 3.2 million produced at the Denver, and 3.4 million produced at the San Francisco. Those 3 million marks are much, much, much lower than when they first started. The first year of production, 360 million were made at the Philadelphia, 288 at the Denver, and 109 million at the San Francisco. So you can see quite the drop off there, a common theme throughout this video. And then next up, this one right here. So there's a lot of publicity behind this coin right here, the Susan B. Anthony, the Sacagawea dollar coin. They had that big Cheerios promotion in which they stuck some of these coins in the Cheerios boxes. They also launched some of them into space. And what they tried to do to make this more popular than the Susan B. Anthony dollar coin was they made it out of a manganese metal. So the manganese metal has a different coloring to it. And the years of the mintages for this Sacagawea dollar coin are astronomically high the first year they came out, and then plummet as far as the mintages go. So in the first year they came out, there were 767 million made at the Philadelphia. There were also the last year of production, there were just 1.8 million. So you can see it dropped off quite a lot. All of those years from 2000 to 2008 were made for general circulation. Now, they still made them after 2008. However, they switched the reverse to these ones right here. So I excluded the lowest mintage year for these ones right here that are kind of more special coins, because the mintages on these are just kind of low across the board, so don't really need to take them into consideration. So in 2009, this was the first one that came out right here. 2010, this one came out. 2015, this one came out. And most recently, in 2008, they produced a commemorative coin to honor Jim Thorpe, who was a Native American and also a football star and a track athlete at the Olympics. So the lowest mintage coin for the Susan B. Anthony 2000 to 2008 series is just 1.8 million. I'll skip the mintages for these ones right here. And then finally, we have the presidential dollar coins. Now, Ronald Reagan wasn't the lowest mintage presidential dollar coin, but he was the last, so I figured I'd use him as an example. The presidential dollar coin started in 2007 with George Washington, and they went all the way till 2016, ending with Ronald Reagan. As I say throughout this video so far, the mintages at the beginning were very high, 340 million made for George Washington. However, they dropped off quite drastically. The United States Congress needed to pass a law to allow them, the United States Mint, to reduce the production amount. So for a while they were producing coins and no one was using them at all. But that drop-off occurred at the start of 2012. So the last one that was produced in 2011, James Garfield, there were 74 million produced for him. The following one, Chester Arthur, there were only 10 million. And then 2012 and onward, the mintages are just generally 10 million or less. The lowest mintage one of all of them is going to be after that cutoff date, and that is for Woodrow Wilson, which came out in 2013 and had a combined total of 7,980,000 produced between the two mints. So to recap, I've talked a lot of mintages amount so far. So for the presidential dollar coins, it is the Woodrow Wilson, which came out in 2013. For the Sacagawea dollar coins, it is the 2008. Both the Philadelphia and the Denver Mint had 1.8 million. For the Susan B. Anthony dollar coins, it is a mint set one that came out in 1981. And for the Eisenhower Dollar, the lowest mintage in that series was 1973, in which there was mint sets only, totaling 1.7 million. All right, everyone, that's all I've got for today's video. If you're into coin collecting, please, please, please do check out some of the other videos on this channel. If you have any suggestions for me, feel free to let me know in the comments section. Thank you very much, everyone, and best of luck coin collecting out there. Enjoy.